It's been just over a year since I brewed the excellent Dark Matter Stout. Now this is an espresso stout, and I would say it's up there as one of the best presses on the Pinter alongside Space Opera and Stars and Stripes. What I'm going to do is brew it in my Pinter one, which I've already sanitized, but I'm going to go different with this one. I'm actually going to add in some lactose. Now, not all of this is 500 grams. I'm going to add in 100 grams of lactose to try and turn this into an espresso milk stout. It will add quite a bit of sweetness to it, and it will be interesting to see how it comes out. It could be absolutely horrible, who knows. Lactose is not a fermentable. It will add sweetness to the beer, but the yeast will not eat away at it, meaning I'm going to add this with everything else at the beginning of the brew. The only thing I've got to be careful of is that this is an outside product and I can't confirm how clean or sanitary it is, and I don't want to introduce bacteria into my brew. So to get around that, I'm going to put 100 grams of this into a boil, so some boiling water in a pan, and then I'm going to add in the press to that afterwards in my jug over here, and then pour that into the Pinter. So that should mean if I put this on the boil for a few minutes that I've ensured that it's sanitary and there's no bacteria. I say number one priority always is to ensure that anything going into your brew, or in your Pinter in this instance, is sanitary and clean. We obviously trust the Pinter with the presses. They've been produced in a clean environment and they have sealed them. That's why if the cap's normally broken, you shouldn't use it. So this is, I'm assuming from them, 100% clean and sanitary. I'm going to make sure this is as well. The boil is complete and I've let it cool down, and now I'm going to pour this into the jug. Okay, that is our lactose solution. The next step is to get the Dark Matter Stout poured in. Try and avoid splashes like that as it goes everywhere. Wash out with some hot water. Nice and empty, apart from all the splashes, which I'll give a quick wipe of. All right, it's time for the trusty spoon to give this all a nice little mix together. I'm going to chuck the last bit of hot water that I've got in here. Try and mix this a bit more. The Dark Matter Stout isn't fully mixed in yet, where it's hanging to the spoon, so I will boil some more water. That looks about ready. Now it's time to get this poured into the pinter. Next, I'm adding cold water up to the mark where it's ready for brewing. The water has a slight different tinge to it, only because it's picked up the last bits of the Dark Matter Stout that were in the jug here. So that malt extract. We're now at the brew level. Probably not. A bit more water. This means it's now time to pitch our yeast. On goes the cap. And the dock. And there you go. As you see, it's not too hard to add an adjunct into your pint of brew. So the Dark Matter, or as I shall call it, the Milk Dark Matter Stout, is now in the pinter. And what will follow, I'll tell you how long it brewed, conditioned for, and what it tastes like if it all goes well. And I think it's safe to assume all came out okay, as here is the pinter. So I brewed this for 7 days. That included a 1-day cold crash, and it's been conditioning for 5 days in the fridge. I did give a little pour actually on day 2 of conditioning, just to test everything looked okay and smelt okay. And I felt it did need a bit more conditioning. So that's why I've left it in for 5 days. But let's grab the Guinness glass and let's get it poured out, see what it's like. And as usual, a bit of drop from the pinter there. Okay, so probably a bit heavy on the pour from me there. Quite a big head. Should have done a 2-stage pour. It's not nitro though. That is obviously looking deep, deep black. I can't see through that. It's not a ruby color at all. What we're expecting, I'm expecting there to still be the coffee bitterness, but I'm expecting there to be sweetness now that we've added lactose to it. Let's see as the head dissipates a bit. Let's go in for a smell. All right, probably a bit too hard to smell through the nose this size. I'm getting a bit of the stout coffeeness. And that's about it really. All right, gonna jump in and just taste and see what it's like. I think it's mellowed everything all round. That is, yes, it's a roastedness to it. So roasted malts, yes. Coffee notes are quite low and there is a bit of sweetness in there. So it seems to have, if you're not that into the coffee notes, then you could add lactose in it to sort of reduce that. But I was hoping to keep the coffee notes and add sweetness in. Let's go for a second taste. I would just say it just tastes like a normal stout now. I definitely feel the lactose has counteracted the bitterness of the coffee in here. It's just roasted malty flavour. Smooth, but as I say, A bit of coffee on the nose, but not really too much. I must say there is probably a bit of sweetness in there as well, but it's not overpowering, and I wasn't trying to overpower with sweetness of a milk stout. That's why I went for what I went for. But personally, I prefer the Dark Matter on its own with its lovely coffee notes, but this will do as a solid, easy drinkable pint. There's nothing in here that is going to be offensive or overpowering and make you think, oh, I can't have another one of those. I think this is definitely a session beer. And I must say, it looks really good in the glass. All right, so that was my Dark Matter Milk Stout. And as I say, it's a thumbs up from me on drinkability, but I prefer the original Dark Matter probably over this little creation of mine. Take care, everyone.